Kyle Busch, then he shoots up the racetrack, almost gets into the 31, and here comes Hornaday for second, trying to take that spot away.
How about that young driver, Ron Hornaday, trying to get by Kyle Busch here? Ooh, close.
Wide into turn 4. Kyle Busch all the way up the racetrack. He has to catch it before he gets in the wall, and Hornaday catches the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Caution is going to come out. Both drivers trying to get by. Looked like the 17 of Timothy Peters. They slid up the racetrack, and now Kyle Busch not happy at all.
It's all good, dude.
And Kyle Busch is going to turn the 33 into the wall. A championship contender, Hornaday in the wall.
Well, Kyle Busch should be parked for this race and maybe the rest of the season for that.
Holy cow, I can't believe he did that.
Championship contender, Ron Hornaday, hard into the wall. Kyle Busch sends him in.
You all right?
You know, we saw him playing games like that at Martinsville, but we're running over 180 miles an hour here.
Window net down on the 33 of Hornaday.
The garage.
The two trucks were trying to get by the 17 of Timothy Peters.
I think it was a
07, excuse me.
Pencil, that's what I was getting at.
That is unbelievable.
Yep, and that takes that 33 truck out of this championship hunt, I believe.
Hornaday coming in just 15 points back, definitely in this championship hunt.
Go back
Gained
to the
32 points
See how bad
on the lead of this championship in 4 races and have it all come to an end like that.
Obviously, Kyle Busch is really mad at Ron Hornaday as they went side by side by that lap truck of the 07 of Johnny Chapman. Here it is right here. They go side by side.
Hornaday has to go up.
Kyle squeezes down on Ron, but Ron he's got to be in control of his truck. They both do a little bit of contact into the wall, but I believe those trucks could be repaired and maybe race for the win still.
And the caution has come out now. Right now, the caution is already out.
A little bit more damage on Ron Hornaday's truck. Very minimal damage to that 18 truck, but this is when he's going to show his displeasure to Ron Hornaday. He gets up against him, and he just won't never turn him loose, Mikey.
He's running wide open in the back of that truck, and he finally turns him head on into that outside wall.
I don't think NASCAR is going to, and I think this goes beyond a little bit of have at it, boys.
Oh, it's definitely way past that. That truck's running 130, 40 miles an hour when it hits that outside wall.
Look at that thing jump up off the ground. Look at all the damage to that 33 truck.
Later parts of the season, teams always bring extra parts, spare things, but this hit is so massive that the front clip has to be bent. Everything underneath that hood damaged beyond repair.
He's out. He may get back on the racetrack and gain 2 or 3 positions.
I don't think he's going to do that, Phil.
I think that truck's probably ruined. This is the beginning of it. They go by. You see Johnny Chapman all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack as far as he can go. They're battling for second place right behind our leader. Hornaday gets a little bit loose. He runs Kyle up into the outside wall. He makes contact with the outside wall. And then they get down to the other end of the racetrack.
There you saw the yellow lights. They came out right away. And again, not much damage to either truck. Both cosmetic, could have been worked on.
You can see how tight Kyle is on the side of Ron. He gets loose when he goes around Johnny Chapman, pulls the air off his truck, and they both go into the outside wall. And I guarantee you Ron has no idea what's fixing to happen.
We got trucks on pit road. Again, the 17th lap of this 147 lap race, and a shocker early on in this one. James Buescher gets the first pit stall.
Looks like fuel only for a number of trucks. A little bit of a chassis adjustment on the 3 of Austin Dillon. Fuel only for Kevin Harvick as they race off pit road. James Buescher looked like maybe Austin Dillon may have won the race off pit road. See tires going on Jason White's gunbroker truck. Ooh, Parker Kligerman pulls out in the middle of traffic.
Interesting to see if Austin did get that lead. You talked about his truck was fading a little bit, Phil. He didn't have the truck he wanted early in the race. They made a chassis adjustment, and then if he could grab the lead off pit road, that's going to be huge for his championship hopes.
Here comes Ty Dillon off of pit road. Again, Ty Dillon potentially, he raced his way back to the front, so he was on the lead lap, didn't have to worry about getting the lucky dog. Now you see the 18, that's the truck driven by Kyle Busch. NASCAR has said the 18 and Kyle Busch parked for the race, and Kyle Busch and Eric Phillips, you will need to report to the hauler, the NASCAR hauler, at the conclusion of this race.
I'm speechless.
At Martinsville, we saw tempers flaring. At a short track, you've got a little bumping and banging. We come to a big racetrack like Texas Motor Speedway, where we have seen speeds upwards of nothing we've seen all year long. The fastest racetrack we go to, and now we have Kyle Busch retaliating on the 33, upwards of 150 miles an hour.
Saw Ron get loose right there. Made some contact.
This is turn 1 and 2
here.
And they send him into the wall. 3 and 4. Ron Hornaday, Kyle Busch involved in our first caution.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Ron Hornaday just out of the Infield Chaos Center. I want to show you some video, Ron. Tell us first what happened under green and then what followed up after the caution came out.
Oh, under green, I knew that, Kyle knew there was a lap in there too. I moved up on the straightaway. He stayed on the corner panel, and I don't know, we just touched a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But he knows I'm going for a point still. I don't know why he didn't do it. But anybody got a cup card, they'll never win a championship again. I mean, this is just stupid. I mean, he knew what I was going for. He knew I was there. He had to lift too. I mean, if I'd have lifted, I'd have hit the back of the slower car, slower truck, and it would cause a big wreck. But he just drove me in the fence. I mean, he just ruined a perfectly good race car.
That's a Ron Hornaday, unfortunately, done for the night, and his championships hopes done for the night as well, Rick.
Yeah, just so disappointing to see this early on in this race as well as late in the season, as Ron Hornaday had worked so hard to get back in the championship hunt.
That's a situation where Kyle Busch's temper just got away from him. He just got away from him. I know he's upset with Ron Hornaday, but that's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. Look, this is how the points run right now. See Ron Hornaday 50 behind.
He's out of it.
He's out of it. He's out of it. The most points you can get in any one race is 48.
The new point system will eliminate Ron Hornaday from being a part of this championship when we go to Homestead at the final race.
Kyle Busch eliminated Ron Hornaday. It wasn't the point system. Right. It's Kyle Busch.
We're 20 laps in, and I don't know if I can speak anymore. I can't believe that just went down this early in the race. These guys are
working around a slower lapped vehicle with psychiatric help.
There's a lot of Twitter today, and this is going to add to it.
Pretty much exploded, didn't it?
Yeah, biggest story obviously of the night. This is what they're talking about. Kyle Busch, after the caution came out, intentionally puts the 33 of Hornaday into the wall.
That could be the biggest story of the year. I mean, a guy out of the championship battle.
NASCAR immediately parks the 18, says you are definitely done for the evening. Crew chief driver will have to report to the NASCAR hauler at the end of this race. All right, after the green flag has come out, we want to hear from Kyle Busch. He is the big story, and he's standing by with Ray.
Okay, Kyle has come out of the hauler, and Kyle, obviously this will be the big story of the week. That's the one question is, did you just lose your mind for a few seconds there? Or did you consider that Ron was in the championship?
Well, if you consider Ron was in the championship, maybe Ron could have played it a little bit smarter on lap 15 and checked up a little bit and given room to everybody around. You know, obviously, if you make it a 3-wide situation, I can't go up in the dirt. You know, I'm already on the outside lane. There's not 3 lanes out here right now. It's a truck race. It's the first race of the night here this weekend. And, you know, so if I just lay over and give up everything for Ron Hornaday, that's not Kyle Busch's fashion. I'm out here to win a race just as much as anybody else is. And when he races up on my inside, gets loose, and takes me up to the fence, I ended up losing my cool. And I've been 4 weeks in a row, and finally I just had enough of it. And so I'm sorry it was Ron Hornaday, and he's going after a championship. But the fact of the matter is, it's just, you know, you can't place all blame on one person. There was 2 people that got into it to begin with, and there was 2 people that ended it.
Okay. Thank you for coming out. That's Kyle Busch.
Again, Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday involved in an incident early in this race. Ron Hornaday out of the race. Kyle Busch out of the race as well, but Hornaday now out of the championship hunt.